The earth element is associated with the season of late summer, and this is the time of year when we start to think about how to ground ourselves, how to find our center. So it's things like getting outside and walking barefoot in nature, doing things that helps you find your center. So yoga or qigong or tai chi or anything that you love doing. So painting, sewing, swimming, cooking, watching TV, whatever you need to do to rediscover yourself. Earth element types overgive when they're out of whack. So they tend to over nurture. So this is the time to pull it all back in, wrap yourself in cotton wool and forget the world for a little while. It's a really hot season, obviously, so swimming is a great idea as well. So what we're going to make here now to help ground all of us in late summer, but especially earth element types, are tahini and sesame and almond cookies. You can use maple syrup if you're a vegan. I want to use honey in this recipe because it goes really nicely with tahini, because whoever discovered tahini, like, more power to you, and whoever thought of putting honey with tahini, oh my goodness, and then to put vanilla in it is just craziness. So I just love this recipe so much, and I hope you will too. So what we're going to start with is 1/3 cup of honey. You can do this obviously just with a bowl and a spoon. I'm just doing this to make it a little bit quicker. 1/3 cup of tahini, so that's hull tahini. You could use unhulled as well, which means it's still got the outside husk on it. It's just darker and heavier, which would be really nice now. And a teaspoon of vanilla essence, vanilla paste, a vanilla pod, scraped if you like, just not imitation vanilla. Okay, so then I want to whisk all those together. See, for me, finding my center and grounding myself is to smell that. Honestly, it's just beautiful. I think because I am an earth type, it really grounds me. Okay, so then we're going to mix together almond meal. So I bought some pesticide-free almonds and whizzed that up in my food processor. It's much cheaper doing it that way. That means my oven's ready, so I have to hurry. But as an earth element, I'm going to do it slowly and mindfully. 1/2 teaspoon of bicarb, aluminium free, pinch of salt, unrefined, about 1/2 cup of sesame seeds. Oh, and I want to put some cardamom pods in there. So you just take them, if you don't have any ground cardamom, like I don't at the moment, just take out the little seeds from the pods like this. It's a very grounding thing to do as well, to bash your mortar and pestle together. All right, so get the little seeds. You want about 1/2 teaspoon. And into my mortar and pestle, grounding, grounding, grounding. If you've got a high-speed blender, you don't need to do that. And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/2 teaspoon. So these are the warming spices that are really great for digestion. They just warm everything up and help you to digest everything else you eat. Dried ginger, 1/2 teaspoon. And mix that up. Yum, yummy. So I'm going to add this, the dry mixture, to the wet ingredients. And just mix till they're combined. So just process until it all comes together in a ball. And it will look like this. Big ball, like a dough, really. So now I'm going to roll them up and pop them in the oven. So 170 for about 20-25 minutes, but it depends on your oven. I'm going to use this great baking sheet that I got from Go for Zero. So they are supplying quite a few things I'm using in this series, Living Your Element, and it's all about no waste. Everything in the kitchen, everything in the laundry, shopping bags, veggie bags, they're unreal. So silicone baking mat by Go for Zero. If you're interested in this product or any of their other products, check out the link in the description. The earth element is about being mindful. It's about nurturance. It's about giving back to yourself. So this is a really good time to write a list of things down that you would like to do for the coming year. people that you might know who are earth types. Kate Winslet is a good example of an earth type. Ed Sheeran, Dolly Parton, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Snow White, Janella Purcell. You know the types. They're earth mamas. See how shiny and glossy they are with the tahini? And this process of rolling and repeating the same process is very calming. So remember, to give you a rundown on earth element, colours yellow, the organs are the spleen and the stomach, the emotions are worry and obsessive thoughts, the season is late summer. The symptoms that earth types tend to suffer with are bloatedness and all types of digestive symptoms, candida, heaviness, sluggishness, pancreatic problems, anything in the middle here. Pain in the center of the body is a big symptom for an earth type. And then emotionally, neediness when we're out of whack, feeling like we really need to be heard, no one's listening, and sluggishness, fatigue, exhaustion, can't bear at all to even do one more thing. Just need to shut down. Put the phone on Do Not Disturb and shut down. And that's actually what you need to do when an earth element is out of whack. Besides, eat any of these recipes that I have just cooked. Cooked food with warming spices, that's yellow. Orange. Last one. Yeah, you usually get about 12 out of this. Sometimes I get 16, depending on how much of an earth element I'm being and how abundant I'm being. Then get a fork, and you're gently just going to squash them down a bit like you would Anzac cookies. And they'll cook faster in the middle if you do this. And then we're going to pop them in this oven for about 15 minutes, but check them after 10. Goodbye, good luck, see you soon. And while we're waiting, we're going to take this chance to thank one of our sponsors, Gourmet Organic. When I first started to think about making this series, I started to think about which products I wanted to use, and herbs and spices I knew were going to play a huge part in my recipes. So I looked in my cabinet. It was full of Gourmet Organic, so they were the obvious people to approach. Luckily for us, they said yes. The reason I love these herbs and spices so much is that their food is medicine. And in yesteryear, we knew that what was in our pantry was our medicine chest. Food is medicine at its finest. Somehow we've forgotten this along the way, but we're starting to remember. For example, cumin, you can sprinkle a little bit of that in some hot water and use it for any digestive problem. Fennel, the same, for bloating or cramping in your tummy. Use the dried oregano for making za'atar or dukkha. It's an antibiotic. I mean, I just sprinkle that on everything. I love it so much. Turmeric. You don't need to buy expensive golden milk powders. Just use turmeric and some raw honey or maple syrup there. The other reason I love them is because of the range of sizes. So these are great size at home for any home cook. Or if you're a bit like me, you might want to get this size so you can refill the bottles. If you're working in a kitchen or you're a chef, this big jumbo size is brilliant for refilling big jars. Or if you don't cook that much or you live in a small space, just get these small 30-gram packets. If you're keen to try these products and get them in your pantry, Gourmet Organic are offering my viewers a nice little discount. So check out the link in the description. These bickies have been out only a few minutes, so they're still really warm, which is why I haven't eaten one yet. But look at this silicone baking mat. I mean, it's incredible. They just slide straight off. So you just wipe it down and put it back in the cupboard and use it next time. If you have a friend who you think might love these, who it gets really worried and gets a sore tummy and all sorts of digestive problems and feels unloved and unheard, whip up a batch of these tahini and honey cookies, make a pot of mint tea, throw in your leftover cardamom pods, go and sit in the park, no shoes, and solve the problems of the world. And you'll both find your center.